So you just crushed the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery, or ASVAB, and pulled off a 110 GT score. First off, outstanding. That's not easy, and it puts you in a whole different league when it comes to Army jobs. A lot of people don't realize this, but your general technical or GT score plays a huge role in what you're actually eligible for. With a 110, you're not just looking at basic roles. You've unlocked access to some of the Army's most advanced, high-paying, and career-boosting job options. Welcome to the U.S. Military Test Prep channel by Study.com. My name is Dr. Steele. I'm a U.S. Army veteran and an ASVAB test prep expert. In today's video, I'm going to cover everything you need to know about understanding your scores on the ASVAB if you're looking to enlist in the United States Army. In this video, we're breaking down some of the best jobs you can get with that score. And trust me, some of these jobs can seriously shape your future in and out of the military. Let's get into it. The ASVAB has 9 or 10 subtests, depending on if you're taking the paper or computerized version. These subtests check out your knowledge in different areas like general science, arithmetic reasoning, word knowledge, paragraph comprehension, and mathematics knowledge. The other areas are electronics information, auto and shop information, mechanical comprehension, and assembling objects. You'll get a standard score for each of the subtests. So what's a standard score? It's basically how you stack up against other people your age, specifically 18 to 23-year-olds in the U.S. The average score is a 50, and the scoring system is built around that. 50 is your baseline, and a 10-point difference shows how far above or below average you are. So a 60, above average. A 40, below average. It's that simple. Higher scores show off your strengths in certain areas, which can be a game changer for landing specific military jobs. You'll also get a percentile rank. This shows how your performance compares to others. For instance, a percentile rank of 75 means you scored better than 75% of standard test takers. Here's where it gets a little more customized. Once you're eligible to enlist, the Army will use your ASVAB scores to determine what kind of job you're best suited for within the service. These jobs are determined using composite scores, also called line scores. These are created by combining your standard scores from various subtests that are relevant to specific military jobs. Each military occupational specialty, or MOS, has a minimum composite score requirement in one or more areas. For example, a technical job would look at your math and science scores, while a mechanical role will care more about your understanding of mechanics and tools. Your composite scores really dictate what jobs you qualify for, so they're worth paying attention to. Your GT score is basically a combo of your scores in word knowledge, paragraph comprehension, and arithmetic reasoning. In simple terms, it shows how well you can learn, think critically, and solve problems. If you scored a 110 on the GT portion of the ASVAB, you're in a really solid position. Seriously, that score opens up some of the most elite and specialized jobs in the Army. You're not just limited to basic roles. You've actually qualified for some of the Army's top-tier career paths. For starters, you've got a shot at becoming an officer through the 09 Sierra Officer Candidate School program. If leadership strategy and making a real impact from day one sounds like your thing, this is your route. And if you're more into technical expertise, but still want that leadership edge, the 09 Whiskey Warrant Officer track might be a better fit. It's all about mastering a skill and being a go-to expert in your field. Now, if you're into tech or energy, check this out. There's a 12 PPA Prime Power Production Specialist. This job puts you at the center of electrical power systems, from running generators to supporting missions that depend on reliable energy. It's a high responsibility role that can translate into strong civilian careers later. Then there's a 17 Charlie, the Cyber Operations Specialist. With cyber threats being such a big deal now, this job puts you on the digital front lines. Think hacking, defending networks, and working with classified tech. It's cutting edge stuff, and yeah, your 110 GT score gets your foot in the door. If you're up for a serious challenge, the 18 X-ray might be calling your name. That's the Special Forces recruit option. It's intense and competitive, but if you make it, you're joining one of the most elite teams in the military. It's not just a job, it's a whole different level of training, purpose, and skill. Maybe you're more into investigation and justice. If so, 31 Delta, Criminal Investigation Special Agent, could be your path. You'd be solving crimes, conducting interviews, and working cases that really matter both in the Army and in the civilian world after. And let's not forget about 51 Charlie, the Acquisition, Logistics, and Technology Contracting NCO. It might not sound flashy at first, but this is a high-level support role where you're managing contracts, supplies, and the tech that keeps missions running smoothly. It's a great mix of business, logistics, and leadership. Your Armed Forces Qualifying Test, or AFQT score, might be the most important score. It decides whether you can enlist at all. Each branch sets its own minimum score, so you have to clear that bar to move forward. The AFQT comes from a combination of your scores on 4 key subtests. These subtests are arithmetic reasoning, which has basic math word problems, mathematics knowledge, which includes a variety of math concepts. The third subtest is word knowledge, which tests vocabulary and word meanings. And finally, paragraph comprehension, which measures how well you can understand written materials. Your AFQT score is a percentile ranking, meaning if you score a 60, you did better than 60% of the standard test takers. Each military branch has its own standards. Let's talk numbers and take a closer look at the minimum AFQT score you need to enlist in each branch of the military. You'll need a high school diploma or GED to qualify for any branch of the military. The required scores vary, though, based on which one you have. If you've got a GED, you'll need to score at least a 50 for all branches. With a high school diploma, you'll need a minimum score of 31 for the Air Force, Marines, Navy, and Army. The Coast Guard requires a minimum score of 32. If your AFQT score is higher than minimum, that's great. This opens up additional job options, potentially more career growth, and maybe even some bonuses. Maybe you have your eye on one of the MOSs we talked about today. But if you've already taken the ASVAB and your scores aren't where they need to be yet, I'm here to give you some steps you can take to improve your scores and better position yourself for the military jobs you want. First, pinpoint both your strong and weak areas. If you haven't yet taken the ASVAB, taking a practice test can zero in on what you know and what you don't. Look at which subtests brought your score down and which ones you excelled in. While it's important to address the weaker areas to meet minimum requirements, excelling in your strong areas can offset the lower scores in other sections. This balance can improve your overall test outcome, especially for composite scores or percentile rankings. Next, study smarter. Spend more time on the sections you struggled with. Using good study resources can make a big difference. Study.com's ASVAB test prep resources can help with personalized study plans and practice tests that get you on track. In fact, 92% of users passed the ASVAB after prepping with Study.com. If you feel like you know a topic well, do practice problems and quiz yourself. If you're still missing a lot, go back and review the lesson until you're confident you know the material. A solid prep plan can help boost your score. You can retake the ASVAB. You'll need to wait 30 days before your first 2 retakes. After that, it's a 6-month wait if you want to try again. So, use the time you have to your advantage. Also, keep in mind, you can use your ASVAB scores for up to 2 years to enlist, so plan accordingly. If you do need to retake the ASVAB, consider using Study.com's ASVAB study guide and test prep resources and zero in on what you need to study. And remember, even if you don't get the score you need for the role you want, there might be other military jobs that would be a good fit for you. The goal is to maximize your strengths. All right, so now you know scoring a 110 GT isn't just something to be proud of. It's a real opportunity. Whether you're thinking about cyber ops, going special forces, diving into investigations, or leading as an officer, that score puts all of it within reach. Plus, there are a few steps you can take to boost your scores and improve your chances of landing the Army job you want. If this video helped you out, give it a thumbs up. Drop a comment with any questions or topics you want us to cover, And don't forget to subscribe for more U.S. military test prep content. I'll see you in the next video. You've got this.